Greetings. I'm here to share words. And the words I'm sharing are transformation. So, for my own journey, the deep transformation of life is endlessly every day. Okay? Some serious squinting going on here from the sunshine. It's absolutely amazing. It was really cold earlier and now it's very sunny. And I got these new earrings. The Medicine Festival. Loving them. First time wearing them. And I'm just totally in awe of how we can transform. Like, I've known this. I've been doing this since I was young, but the possibilities are just, they keep coming. Like, so when you ever get stuck and you're like, okay, that's it, that's not it. That's not it. And the dark holes, like, for anyone that's out there in the dark hole, know that the dark hole is not forever. And I've been in a fair few dark holes in my life, for sure. And so I suppose to kind of like bounce in here, I honestly feel like I really want to try and come on here and spend some time just talking and seeing where the talking takes me. Because what happens is I'm like, oh, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to share this and I'm going to share that. And then I'm like, Jesus, there's so much more to share. And it's just like, time for me has been a real big journey of time. And I was like, why don't I just give it time and then see what unfolds? And in this moment, I'm going to give it 10 minutes. Because that's all I have for you. And me and it and we are it and that's it. And I suppose I want to speak into like the drawing in from creation and source and how interacting with others affects us so deeply. Sorry, that stretch just did something. And like all my bones cricked and cracked. It's so nice. Woo! So and I suppose because I'm a transformational worker and like I work with animals as much as I do people. And when I see it, that like how I can engage with an animal and they already can change, like within hours, within minutes. So that goes quite against a lot of like, sciencey things because it doesn't really make sense. What I'm doing doesn't really have names. It does, but not really in the academic books of knowledge, I suppose. So, and to be quite frank, I don't label my work under one or two things anymore because it cannot be under one or two things. Like, I'm trained in about 20 different things and I can't say it's more one than the other because they've just all weaved in. One comes from the other. One is the same as the other. And I suppose, if anything, it's, for me, it's that divinity, that divinity spiritual connection up here. And for me, like, I'm super, super sensitive, energetic to energies. I think energy would be the word that I would use. I would be like, I don't like the energy here, It wouldn't be like, I don't like the look of it here. Some people would say, I don't like the look of it. I'm just going to say the most massive dragonfly with wings that wide flew past here when I was sitting here doing some work on the laptop. And it flew past and it flew back today, like within less than a meter of me. And actually, my sister was here, so she got to witness it. And she was like, oh, dragonfly. I was like, oh my god, that is never, I've never seen a dragonfly that big in Cork in my whole life. And I've only ever seen two small dragonflies here on this field this year, because their habitat has grown, and that's just like, it feels amazing. It feels so amazing to have that. And now to see this giant guy, it's like, oh my god, it's like a blessing. So, and just add to that, the other day when it landed on my shoulder and it started eating its bug, it was so cute. And so when I looked at it here, because it was so close to my eye, I could actually see its little mouth and everything. It's so cute. My hair has been very wild today. So in that, in that connected to source, I suppose, and energy, we have fear of energy. We actually fear energy. Humans fear energy. One problem. Second problem, people that are aware of energy use it to their advantage. So they manipulate energy to suit their life. And then three, I can't do this. Three is combining energy with the body fully. I'm just going to use those three for now. So the energy with the body, and I suppose that's like, for example, a tantric practice is kind of an embodied energetic experience, whereas a meditation might be an outer body energetic experience. It's different. It's all very different. It depends on your practice. And in my case, that has definitely been my path. The path of matcha has definitely been orientated around becoming a highly embodied, highly energetic creature. And by doing that is actually allowing people to see that you can be energetic and embodied, and you can be together and live in this world with other humans. So that's three things in itself. So it's energy, the physical body, and then we have the living with humans. So being human with other humans, community, tribe, even relationships, family. And so what I've seen through all my time is that we have people that really just want to be energetic and really struggle with being human and struggle with all the human body stuff and the sensitivities that come with the energetics. The hearing, the seeing, the feeling, the knowing, the touch, the everything. And then you have the people that are maybe like that, but they just don't want to engage with human beings because of the fears, the traumas, the misunderstoodness. And then with us, with us, um, with me, I would say, like, I've gone through all these different stages. So like I had to be able to learn and awaken and shift and change myself, to be able to get to this point, which is a living, breathing, blissful, embodying experience of life. And I can say it can get better, because it can get better, because there's no there's no there's no end to a dimension. It's like, it's just a, and if you want to throw it out there really far, it's like, well, when I die it'll get better, because that'll be my next evolution of betterness. So that sounds pretty cool, actually. And while I'm here, it's gonna be as good as it's gonna be, and that's what I'm gonna go for. And when I say go for, it's because it's not like a taking, or it's not like a growing into. It's a choice. Like, it's a real choice. Like, we have to choose the now. We have to choose the this meat body, like how to love it, how to be with it, how to listen to the resonance of the world, how to smell that medicine, how to allow other humans to penetrate you with good and bad, which is actually all really helpful. It's only a perception of good and bad, and like, how do we do that? Like, I already was a gifted person as a child. There's no question about it. But I wouldn't say that no one's gifted. I think everyone is somewhat gifted. But maybe they didn't have the awareness of their gifts as a child. So I definitely had the awareness, but I wouldn't say it was fully seen at all by the community. And so therefore I struggled on my own some in that gift. And then I had other issues like what's wrong with me, yada yada yada. Anyway, so I had to go through all that, and like, you know, I did a lot of work on myself. Like that was my journey. You know, I chose lots of different paths, and I could see all my troubles and all my struggles. Not all of them, because you see more the more you get into them. But you know, the ones I had to look at most to try and get out of the situation I was in. And through those, and like we're talking like alcoholism, eating disorders, body dysmorphia, friendship issues, relationship issues, worth issues, sexual issues, physical body disease and unwellness. Like, you know, like the list goes on and on and on and on. Like basically pile them all in there, right? And in that, like, you know, I could be just here too long telling you all the list. And in all of that story, what I kept doing is I kept learning, kept receiving medicine, kept finding people to learn from, you know. And in the learning, I often knew already the stuff I was learning, if that makes sense. Like, not all of it, definitely, but some stuff I was like, oh, I know that already. But it wasn't, I realized it wasn't the learning, it was the tribe. It was finding the people within that space that I felt comfortable with, as well as the learning. So I was like upskilling myself, getting more, you know, knowledgeable to be able to heal myself and others. But then it was also to be able to have more people to reference and to conversate with in these times. But the one thing I did struggle with, and all that journey of like, say, I'm going to go into my teens now, so say like 23 years or something. In all those 23 years, I still found one big problem. And the big problem in there for me was this whole being understood. And you know, I couldn't really understand why people couldn't understand me, you know, until even more lately that I've gone, oh, okay, like I've got it many times in my head, like, you know, people don't have to understand me, I don't have to understand them, I don't get it, I don't get them, yada yada yada, we're in different places, you know, we don't have to all be friends, everything like this. But then I got it to a new level that I never got it before, about understanding someone. And what happens is within people, if they haven't gone through the journey which I've gone through, which is trying to accept and fully heal all the trauma and unknownness and the hurt and damage, or try to get their gifts and bring them out into the world, and all these things, and just look for that just natural acceptance and like, yeah, you can just be here, you know. Then there's a resistance, you know, they want that so bad as well, but they don't probably even know how to get it, or they're afraid to go and ask for it. Whereas like I was like pushing, you know, because I was like, this is the only way, I'm dead if I don't do this. So I was like, this is the only way, this is the only way. And so I kept going, and because of that resistance, there was more to go up against, so there was more to push against, and so that was struggle. You know, struggle. I have too many stories to tell that I just don't want to bother anyone telling. Maybe down the line I will, but like the amount of shit that got piled on top of me for, you know, trying to get out of this shithole. And it was so good. It's so good, guys, to get out of the shithole. And every time I got out of the shithole, I was like, woo, I can see now why that happened, yeah. But then another one would come and I'd be like, fucking hell, like what's going on here? You know, like what's going on here? And then I go through it again. I would like really deep in it, going, well, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why is this person attacking me? And why is this, person seeing me like this when I haven't done that? And yada yada yada. And it could be in any context, like friends, family, relationships, work, training, anything. Like it was all there, and I was like, oh god, what's going on? And so I'd have to go through it again, and I had to go through it again, and again, 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 again. And it's been amazing because now it's like, oh yeah, I get it. Like I just get it. I just get it. I don't even have words to put on the getting, but I get it so much that it feels so good. Like it feels that good. Like it feels like this. It feels this good. Yeah. And in that goodness, there's just so much liberation around it. And it's like, yeah, so nice. And then meeting other people that feel that good and or want to feel that good. And they're like, yes, And it just for me, like, it was really a struggle to get to that place. Like, like even a year ago, it was. Now, I will say summers are always better for me than winters. Like, always. I'm a sun person. This is why we're out in the sun, because I do not have the time for this indoors. It's like I need to do the sun. And like, it just really, 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 even comparison to the last years, this year is just like, it's just kicked off to this new universe of amazingness, of meeting these people, feeling these people, feeling myself just in just joy and bliss, that I'm just like, ha 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 ha, thank you. And not having the fear of being weird. Now, if you know me a long time, I've been quite weird, quite a long time. Like, I just need to make it really clear, like, I'm on 0 drugs right now. Okay? 0. Like, no microdosing, no, like, smoking something yesterday, like, nothing. Yeah, like, there's, like, nada. I didn't even drink coffee or chocolate. Like, nothing. And I'm on well water, though. And like, I just want to say, like, that's what I'm trying to say is like, I'm just loving my wild hair today. Just loving it. Like, that's what I want to say, like, is that I actually love being weird. Like, I've always been weird. Like, that's just who I've been. And like, trying to squash my weirdness to really have an acceptance of society was always kind of hard. And there was a few things that used to happen with me when I was around people, is like, I used to watch my words. Now I still watch my words, because if you have been around me, I do say things like they're beyond my thoughts and mind, right? Because like, I'm a visionary. I hear things. And because I channel a lot, like, things come out through me before I even hear, see, or know a response. So, and that's even in my work. Like, I can hear something within someone else that they can't even hear in themselves, or in a horse, or in a space and land, or even a music, like how music can speak to me without words. It can translate a language, an encoded language, into something for me to translate back into the human language for people. So like, what this whole thing, started, I suppose, is that like, I'm not being weird, I'm being myself, like, beyond a cultural thing. Like, I say fuck. I think that could be cultural, but like, you know, I'm just being myself as much as I can myself can be, and like, and being that self is just giving me so much liberation, and like, you know, and being myself is quite ferally, you know, it's quite like not womany, not manly, not non-expressive. It's just something very me. So how, you know, how do I label that? And like, I suppose I'm flicking into gender now because I feel like gender does come into it for me, and it's like the non-binary thing is really strong for me, because being non-binary means like, yeah, it's like I can be like a lot of different things. Like now I feel like really sexy and like, you know, totally loving my body and just like liking how my body's moving. And it's funny because I don't really think of myself as being a woman when I'm moving. Witty. You know, I don't like, oh, this is my boobs. This is, you know, this is my boobs. This is my woman shoulders, my woman hair. I'm just like, oh, this is my body. This is my body. You know, this is my body. This is my hair. You know, look how good my hair is. So, I suppose to round it all up, because we could talk about this forever, is, you know, it's just about the beingness and just being my own breath, being my own hand moving when it wants to move. Not this like, oh, should I do this and should I do that, or that still happens, believe me, but like on a really deep place where it's like an edge for me. But on a day-to-day basis, that definitely does not happen. And I'm just kind of saying to you, like, you know, what does that mean for you? Like, what's your liberation? Woody's panting down here. I'll show you, Woody. Come on. He's like, Mommy, it's too hot up here. It's too hot. Whoa, thing. Bird. So yeah, what is it for you to just be liberated? What is it for you to just have constant transformation? What is it that you in your life could be different tomorrow? And like, how can it look? So let's come into some closing in. I said 10 minutes and actually it rocked into like 25 minutes, which is awesome. Okay. Beloveds, goodbye. I have to go to a beautiful gathering party thing now. And I'm going to bless you and enjoy the rest of whatever weather you have. And if you're here in the Europe side of the world, we have the amazing weather. So we're grateful. And let it also rain, because we need a bit of rain. And with love, and feel free to reach out to me. Zaya, goche, goche, Zaya, goche, goche.